Hello, TNA fans. We are back again. This time we are reviewing the first ever TNA 2.0 episode. Do I have that right, Gary?
Yeah, it's the January 18th episode. Or actually, yeah, this would be the first. I got confused with Hard to Kill. It felt like we had an episode before this, but
Yeah,
you'd be
no, I was.
correct.
I was confused if they rebranded to TNA before this, like if this was the third rebrand. But no, that was just GFW, right? That was TNA to
Yeah.
GFW to Impact. Yeah, whatever. So it's TNA, and me and Gary usually agree a lot. This time, not so much. And first off, like and subscribe, all that. Gary has his own horror channel, which should be popping up above if I remember to put it there. Gary's Horror Emporium or some stupid shit. What the hell's the name, Gary?
Gary's Movie Crypt.
That's right. He changed the name and been pumping out reviews like a lunatic. So check that out. And okay, so really quick, my thoughts about this episode were it was definitely better than the shit they were doing last year. Dolph and Macklin was fantastic. It felt like it was on a different kind of a show. It was that good. Um, there was two. I like the grizzled. I keep calling them the grizzly veterans. I'm gonna stick with that. I like the grizzly veterans against Kaz and EY. We'll get into what happened after that. I absolutely hated Tasha losing to Zia for no reason, just like a straight up match without cheating or anything. Like, I don't know, man. She just looks tiny, and Tasha's legit world champion, and like there was no story to why she would be losing there. And I don't know, too strong of a push, too fast. And the opening X Division match. Well, before I get to the main event was fantastic with Ospreay and Josh. But the X Division match, this was so goddamn good. Kushida, Miguel, Laredo Kid, like people have been pointing out, it's like everyone was from a different goddamn country, which I don't even know. Like Kingo,
Yeah.
and then Jake something kills them all. Like, it's a really good match. I would definitely recommend everyone should watch it. But like, I don't know, I feel like it was like just a kick in the balls. It was like we've
It
seen this
definitely
before. You know what I mean? Didn't we see this before with Jake something? He just pops in the fucking X Division, beats everyone, makes no sense,
well
doesn't get pushed.
well my thing with it is it's a momentum killer because we're coming out of Hard to Kill as we're rebirthing all the different divisions, and you're
Yeah,
sticking a
yeah, good
maybe
point. Yeah,
middle card guy into X Division, and he's not like a Brian Cage or
Samoa
somebody
Joe,
that can go toe to toe with the X Division other than power. You know what I
like
mean?
yeah, I think they think he's like a young Samoa Joe, and he's nothing close. I mean, Joe was big. That was a huge difference. Joe was round. Jake is gigantic. Like, it looks ridiculous. It's like having Kevin Nash in the fucking X Division if Kevin Nash could do some, more moves. But whatever. I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like everyone else is fantastic. You just take him out of that match. It's just as good, but maybe even better. Like, he does some good. Yeah, watching him throw some people around is fun, but like, I don't know, save that for tag matches or something. Like, get him out of that division. And the fact that they're starting off with that with the year, it was like, oh, this
Well,
was great, but same old shit booking. That's how I
and
feel.
the thing is, what I noticed that's kind of irking me right off the bat with the tunnel is the tunnel's a little too revealing. Like, it seems like the crane operator like pans right on the very center of the like towards the back of it
Yeah,
to see who's coming down the tunnel. And I mean, it's not a surprise if you're at home, you see who's coming. Like I
yeah,
mentioned last week about Alicia Edwards being spotted like before her ring music was even played,
yeah.
or the system's music was played. And I haven't been a fan of the tunnel thing with the camera angles thus far, but hopefully they can fix that.
Yeah. My boy Robles really enjoyed the episode and gave us some awesome ideas to go down, which we're going to a little later. But well, not later, maybe soon. But okay, so yeah, I just think I said enough about the X Division match. Awesome. Don't like Jake something. Feels so weird. Whatever. Okay, now here's just a little thing I noticed, and thanks to 411 Mania for just keeping all the writing everything down because I can't remember like literally everything, and I don't rewatch the shows. Also, our friend Christian Thompson from TJRWrestling.net, who always does awesome reviews. They have one up there too. So, a promo by Giselle, guaranteeing she has a title, guaranteeing her shot at the Knockouts title because she has the X that she won at the latest pay-per-view, whatever. Hard to Kill. And then Gail Kim comes up. Like, this was one of the weirdest things. She was like, you don't need the Chantarage or like whatever. I don't know if she actually said the name of that stupid. She did say exactly she did say that stupid name. Okay.
Yeah.
Always hated that name. Whatever.
They're always cost. She goes. They're always costing you the win. They're doing things.
I mean, is that even true?
I don't know. I guess I never really paid too much attention, but I mean, there have been times like Savannah did little things that like kind of like distract Giselle enough that she does like maybe come in on the short of the stick, but I mean, would she have beaten that person without them though either?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So. Yeah. I mean, good question. I think they've helped more than they've hurt, but we'll get to that. And I just wanted to point out, like, okay, well, I guess it makes sense that Giselle is getting some character work here. I mean, I didn't like it because, like, why isn't Zia or Tasha getting any character work, like, before this match, which, I don't know, I just hate, I mean, it was fine, like, it was pretty short, and, I don't know, was it like Zia, like, kind of got, like, a cheap win? I honestly don't even remember. I don't think it was. Maybe.
No, it wasn't a cheap win by Zia, but like you had mentioned, like, to come in, kind of like a newbie, like no one really knows her, and to like come onto the scene in like the first match out, you ever face a former champion like a Tasha Steelz. I suggested that why not have like a 10-minute challenge, like, oh, you know what, you want to come to my house, and you're on the roster. You got to see if you can hang with me for 10 minutes and then like, have a countdown clock and then like kind of like prove that you can hang with her, but not get a pinfall loss.
Yeah, well, hopefully I don't lose anybody here because this is a little boring, but you might understand. I was watching a YouTube video about subtext. They were kind of abusing the latest Star Wars movies for not having enough subtext. I didn't really know what the hell subtext was exactly, but so for this match, it would be Tasha backstage for literally 20 seconds. It could have been 15 seconds. Just joking. Like, Zia Brookside, who is this girl? Does she know who I am? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that kind of thing. Yeah. That's it. And that's subtext that I found. I recently found the words out. I'm sure Gary, as a movie watcher and reviewer, might know better, but
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever really heard it being thrown around too much. So
like just the way he explained it, I was like, holy shit, like that's really good. Like, it's just like adding, like, you can just, it's like literally adding like one line, like anywhere, like, you know what I mean? And like for this, it would be like what you said, Tasha having an open challenge, or Tasha talking shit in the back for 10 seconds, or Zia, shows Zia all excited, she's so pumped, and then Tasha, Tasha taking a nap or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, totally not taking it seriously. That's a little bit of a story. It doesn't need any talking or promos or anything. Okay, Joe Hendry's out. I gotta say, Joe Hendry's been awesome. I was never really a big fan of Joe Hendry, and he's kind of totally turned me. He's a fun dude. He's over and he sings, and a lot of his songs, I'll say maybe 50% of his songs are funny, but when you're doing comedy, it's like, that's so goddamn hard to do. So good for him.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, to come up with a song, like, I honestly think the Cheez It one might be my all-time favorite, just because of the kind of the theatrics that went on between him and I can't remember the other guy that just showed up at Hard to Kill. Their exchange is gold. I mean, it kind of felt like the golden age of WWE.
Oh, Nemeth?
Like, no, the rapper. I can't.
Oh yeah, Top Dollar and whatever.
Yeah, Top Dollar.
Just AJ. I think it's AJ Francis, but whatever.
It kind of felt like something that it's kind of been lacking. Like, kind of like you want to really hate the heel, and you didn't really. It's been a while since you've really wanted to hate a heel in Impact, and I thought that
dude
was
is good.
Very Yeah.
That dude is never heard of that dude, and he's good. I mean, I heard of him WWE. Like I just thought he was like a joke WWE kind of guy who was in. I thought he was in Retribution, but I honestly don't know. So it's funny. I was about to read down Robles' list, but come on, Robles. I'm joking, but most of the questions that we were supposed to talk about was a lot of them are from the actual tapings and not the show and whatever. Maybe we'll get to those later. I didn't really want to do spoilers. He did have one question: "Where's Allie?" Which, of course, he's a huge Allie fan, and I'm totally with him on that. Like, no one really came back, right? Like to TNA yet since there. I mean, there's only been 2 shows, but
no.
well, I guess Rose. I mean, you could say Rosemary in a way, but she was still there, so that doesn't really count. But yeah, I mean, I want some comebacks. I mean, didn't you think there'd be more comebacks? Like, I think we talked about like Amazing Red and shit like that. Like, I honestly thought Allie was like a gimme. Like, she would have been back like in the first episode, and I really thought there'd be like 5 new people or something, like a James Storm kind of guy coming back, stuff like that. No, is that just me?
I don't know. I just something tells me I think we've seen the last of James Storm. I mean, I definitely would have welcomed him back, but like, I kind of feel like
did you kill James Storm?
I
Seen the
think
last
he's
of James
literally.
Storm. Remember who said it? Okay, go ahead.
No, I just think that like he's pretty much done everything he can in Impact. So I mean, maybe he's
Yeah.
figuring like there's life outside of wrestling. And the last time I knew he was,
I was just thinking. I mean, I was just thinking for a little bit, some guy, maybe some people pop back in, like, hey, TNA, remember us, whatever.
But I guess on Twitter he said he signed a deal. I don't know with who, but he landed a role in some TV series that was, going to be well, if it's a hit, it's going to be, at least yearly and until.
Well, good for him. Sorry, just reading something here, trying to see if there's any news that we missed. Kylie King is out for like 9 months, so that sucks. And it also perfectly fits in with the Knockouts match that I thought was ridiculous, but I think they are doing it because they have to do it. Because look around, what the hell happened? I mean, I think we had in our last video WTF Knockouts because we talked about it quickly, but like I didn't even realize how bad it was.
Yeah.
And if you look at watch what's coming in the next few weeks. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not. I don't like the spoiler to say match, whatever. Maybe it's a spoiler to say what match is happening. So close your ears for 20 seconds if you don't like. But there's matches. I think there's 1 or 2 matches where there is local talent facing the tag champions. That's all I'm gonna say. So you know what I mean? Like the women's tag division is that. Well, just the women's division overall. They can't even put like 2 girls together as a team anymore. Like that's how bad it is.
Well, yeah, well, I think it's definitely very lacking, and like I think it didn't help when like at Hard to Kill we really didn't have anything from the Knockouts other than Giselle securing her cashing in opportunity.
Well, Jordan, but we all kind of knew that was coming.
Yeah, but I mean outside of that, they didn't really have no really big moment, like nobody crossing the line, like a Camille or something.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the kind of people they should be signing. Camille. I mean, there's a lot of people out there right now. I'll keep mentioning friggin' Tessa forever. Also, happy birthday to her dad. I think it's his birthday today as we're recording this. And okay, really quick. How would you feel about a Brooke Tessmacher return?
Was that a question to me or?
Yeah. No. Who the hell you think I'm asking, Gary? Someone that just walked.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know if you wanted to answer it first. Would I take Brooke Tessmacher back? I definitely would, especially like because we had mentioned just a little while ago that we are lacking any reason to tune in for the Knockouts, and she'd be a step in the right direction. Plus, I think she's still pretty much inspired in wrestling. So.
Yeah. And again, unless you're a big Giselle fan, and if you are, that's great. I haven't seen many of them in my life from looking around or talking to wrestling fans or having wrestling groups. I don't see it. I mean, she's been getting pushed, I feel like, forever. And I feel like she has to win this title match, because if not, it's going to be like 20 straight lost title matches, and then she has to go away. And I don't think that's going to happen. So I think she's going to be Jordan in some bullshit way. And I think they just set it up with Gail Kim. Maybe she turns heel or something, and then it turns to like Jordan versus Gail. So they can give Giselle some time with the title, which I'm just, my brain is like spinning as I'm saying these words, because it's, I had people fight with me saying it would never happen. It would never ever happen. Scott would never push his girlfriend. I used to argue with people about just her getting pushed, and I'm like, you people don't know what a push means, man. Like, an ongoing story can be a push.
Well,
Like,
I mean, I will say, to Scott's credit, he's been pretty good about not putting her to the front. But like you said, she's had how many opportunities, and she continues to lose.
I mean,
And yet
counting the
she's still
tag titles. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking most. I mean, what I'm saying, title matches, they were mostly tag title. I think she might have lost 8 tag title matches last year or something ridiculous, and maybe like 4 world, maybe 4 world titles. Maybe she was in that match against that Julia and Deanna.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, she was in that match for like I think it was that multiple titles. That match. Just like, I don't know. I've been watching this for so long, and like,
that's a bit.
I feel like she's in matches she doesn't belong in, and maybe it's Scott not wanting other knockouts there. That's why they're not signing them, because he knows they'd have to be above her. I mean, I can't even imagine Tasha just being in the situation she's in. I don't know. Maybe she'll be leaving if she doesn't turn heel or something soon. But whatever. Let's get to the Grizzly veterans, who I thought looked really good. I thought they looked good at the Hard to Kill. But again, it's just too fast. Like, has Kazarian and Eric Young won a match as a team? I don't think so. Am I wrong?
No. And I mean, I guess it more or less got shot down right off, though, because like Kazarian turned on him this week. So I guess it's all best that it didn't, doesn't stay around.
But again, like, why not use the end of the year? Give Kazarian and EY some wins. Show that, there's some problems and they're working on it as a team. You know what I mean? Instead of just having these guys come in, beat them, and then there's problems.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To be fair, heel Kazarian is awesome, and the crowd fucking hated him.
Oh yeah. They were saying by the end they were saying "F you."
Yeah, weren't you surprised? Were you surprised? I mean, it's Kazarian.
Yeah, it was because of his, the number of eyes that have seen him in the AEW product and stuff. Especially, I would have thought, if anything, it would have been like maybe more against Eric than.
I thought it'd be like a 50-50 kind of like.
Yeah.
Boos and cheers. I really did not think it would be. I mean, and I like, I don't know. I didn't like how fast it happened and all that, but I don't like these guys as a tag team. I mean, they're too good. It takes away these are two main event type guys. Like, Eric Young needs to stop fucking around, and I think this might finally do it. Like,
I
think maybe that was in an awesome feud. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what they were planning here, but like, you shouldn't do it.
Don't you want to? But I mean,
make tag team.
Yeah, no, I'm with you like that. But don't you think? Doesn't the world need face EY? Like, doing his old shit, just doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of the he's one of the funniest characters. I believe he's one of the funniest characters in history of wrestling, along with Kurt Angle, and I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. But that's
I think he's played that role as a kind of tweener for too long. I want to see some progression, maybe back to a full-fledged face.
Or regression, where he's just the old EY, one of the old EYs. He had so many goddamn things, but yeah, he was a blast. And whatever, maybe that'll bring that to this, which is cool. And then we saw Moose with the system in a restaurant, which small, but I liked it. That they're hanging out together.
Yeah, I really like this here because like it kind of made them feel bigger than what they, on paper, what they really are, and you kind of get that. I don't know. It just kind of feels like that was what was lacking all of last year and the year before, like a faction where they actually treat it like it's some big deal, kind of like a Four Horsemen kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't want to say they're stealing it from WWE, but WWE is good with this shit. Like, they've had I forget what they call it, the one with Ripley and all. and like R-Truth trying to
Oh,
join, and like R-Truth has been trying to join them lately, and it's just really fucking funny. I mean,
oh wow. There's
for
a
any
blast
TNA
from the
fan,
past.
Ron Killings. I mean, he's still sorry when I mentioned funniest characters. He's right up there. He is just
Yeah.
still like he's trying to join the group. So like they're at dinner and stuff, and like you'll see him like it looks like a photo bomb. He's in the background like trying to be part of the group. So yeah, like I really like the whole eating out. Like it just shows like there's life outside of like the 3 minutes you see them together, whatever. You know what I mean? Together walking to the ring. So yeah, that was
Oh
cool.
yeah,
Also,
definitely.
I didn't like that Moose didn't have an in-ring thing, but then as I'm talking about this, I don't mind it because Dolph/Nemeth needed one, and then you had the whole thing with Moose, which was cool with his group. So very cool, and this was fantastic. This was one of the best segments in a while. I can't
Well,
believe
and I
how good
think
Macklin hung on the mic. I mean, Dolph's not the greatest on the mic, but like this was just so good.
no, but I mean, I think too, since Nick Nemeth has showed up, like that theme is like it kind of almost feels a little bit like our version of like a Hulk Hogan or something. It's like got a kind of like major guitar thing going on.
Yeah.
It really fits him well, and he's kind of like our version of Heath last year, but a lot loads
Oh yeah.
better.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Coming in,
It's good.
attacking
Yeah.
people from behind and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But yeah, this
Stone,
felt very big league.
Stone Cold Heath, we were calling him. Yeah, I mean, it just feels big. I always say that. It feels when somebody's in the ring like this, it's just a smart thing. Stick them in the ring with a mic, especially a guy like Dolph. Then they come off like 10 times bigger than they really are. And he was good. He didn't waste too much time talking about bullshit. He just said, he's done a lot of things, blah blah blah, and he wants the TNA title, and he's gonna be TNA champion. And then Macklin came out, which was just absolutely perfect. Basically, fuck you. You got to go through me, bitch. And
Yeah, I thought this
yeah.
was really cool with Macklin and Nemeth in the ring though. But I noticed like he really made Nemeth look really tiny in terms of
Oh
like
yeah,
the like
Macklin. Yeah,
which I was surprised. I knew they'd be similar in height, but like you could tell like Steve Macklin's really like a solid dude,
yeah. Big Macklin fan. Totally killed it here. Nemeth hit him with the zigzag at the end. The Danger Zone, it's now called. Not a big fan of that name, and I'm guessing it
Oh
might
no.
be copywritten by Top
Yeah,
Gun,
but
but I don't know about
yeah, I
that.
don't like that either.
So then we had
Danger Zone.
Gia with Jordan and Trinity. Or sorry, Jordan was talking about Trinity, and blah blah blah. Trinity pops in. Let's have a rematch. Cool. The whole thing with this, I just hated that it was so friendly all along. And now Gary's moment
Oh,
of the match. Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, what were you gonna say? Moment of the
Gar-
match.
Gary's match of the night: Jay Vidal versus PCO. Now let me. I'll start this one off by really, really. This is what I gotta watch now. I mean, I'm sorry. Giselle is enough. This dude comes out with what? I don't even know what his gimmick was other than having a ridiculous amount of makeup on his face to show that he's not straight. I believe that's his gimmick, at least for now. And I
I
don't know if
did
he had
I
a.
did like I did like how he kind of like made the fans in attendance think because it's in Vegas, like he was like happy they were, that he was back in Vegas, and then he
Yeah.
just I hate Vegas. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool, but yeah, this was very awkward. Like you don't want it to come off like you're blatantly,
Yeah.
doing doing the segment this way.
It's. I don't think they realize it's a turn off for so many, maybe half of a fucking America. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People don't want
yeah,
to say it,
yeah.
and a lot of people out there don't want to say it when it comes to Giselle and this stuff. But I know it is. It's a huge turnoff for a lot of these people. I've spoken to them. They just don't want to say it out loud or on a podcast or some shit, and that's understandable. But I don't give a fuck. And PCO won. Of course, PCO got the squash. So what's even the point of this character? Like we talked about wanting to see Jay Vidal because he can wrestle, not to be a ridiculous character that's going to get people to turn the channel and get squashed. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
he,
yeah,
they
I noticed him
they
coming.
introduced a character to get murdered. Like really?
Well, the thing is, though, I did notice they've improved upon with the PCO character as like the
Yeah,
resuscitation
definitely.
of
Yeah.
PCO. They've gotten like a lot more hands on with him, and I really like that. And it
Yeah.
looks really good on TV, especially if you're kind of playing up as like a 50s horror, well, anti villain or whatever.
Just one of the many
Looks pretty.
things we spoke about wanting more shit like that for PCO. Hell, we even wanted Jay Vidal to wrestle on top of Explosion returning, and well, whatever. I can go on
And
and
not
on,
being
but
served up for the jobber.
yeah, well, we appreciate you listening, Impact, even though I kind of blast you all a lot. But I did start this out as a positive channel. It is not my fault that shit got negative because people left and they just didn't fill the roster correctly. But whatever, I'm not going to be totally negative because there was a fucking amazing main event, which probably brought this show to around an 8 or 7.5 for me. I don't know, maybe 7.5 just because I hated those early bookings so much. But Josh Alexander beat Ospreay, who, I mean, he might be the greatest fucking wrestler I've seen. Like today, like just going right now. Like I don't know if anybody's more fun to watch than this dude.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I think what it was, what brought the show down a notch is, I mean, like you got these two men that like put on a clinic every time they hop in the ring together, and it's like the bar is just so far apart from what we got prior to this, and like that, you kind of have to grade it on a curve, and I don't know, it's just you have to take it down a notch because of like the difference in quality of match.
Yeah. So awesome match. Very nice to see Josh get a win. I mean, this is
Yeah, I was
he made,
very shocked.
yeah, totally shocking. I mean, I think I said I would bet money on him not winning, just because it's kind of how it is. 4 stars from Christian, and I believe 5 from He-Man-Chu, if I can count stars correctly. Um, Here's a good little note from Christian, or at least for me. Post match, TNA president Scott D'Amore came down to unnecessarily steal the show.
Yeah,
I just I just love that it was him. I just love that Christian said that. It wasn't just me because I swear I turned it off right after that. I thought the show was over, so I didn't realize. Then I saw it. Then I watched it online for like 10 seconds, and I don't know. It's just like this is like a Tony Khan thing to me, where like it's totally unnecessary. Like you're like stay in the back. It was a really good
yeah.
show. It doesn't have to be about you, dude. And like it's a very Tony Khan thing where he comes out, he does this shit after every show. And
Well,
I don't
I
know. I
mean,
mean,
like
and
if
here's what
he's
pissed
the
me off,
voice of,
Freddie. Sorry, go ahead.
well, I'm just saying that he's the voice of the company, and I noticed like he's always got like nice suit jackets and stuff. But like, have you ever watched it? Look at his footwear; it's like just sneakers.
No, well, I'll
Yeah,
try
it's
to.
like totally like unprofessional. I think
Well,
I
well,
don't know. I
Tony.
mean, you're
Well, Tony's similar. I think he comes out in pajamas sometimes.
oh
Um,
wow.
Also, if anybody's
Yeah.
out there bored and wants to check something out, find Tony Khan pumping up the crowd for Rampage. It's one of the most amazing 10 minutes you'll listen to. Just him screaming at the top of his lungs. He kept going for so long that the ring announcer in the back was cutting him off, like, okay, well, the show is starting. And he's like, yeah, the show is starting, and it's going to be so great. Like, it was just
Yeah, he couldn't come up
totally,
for air.
totally cool as this guy. Like he even like his own ring announcer was like, "Shut the fuck up! We have to. These people want to fucking leave." Like this was after whatever it was. They tape shit after. So also I saw a really bad picture. Also I just saw a really bad picture of Collision from this week. So in terms of the crowd, but here's another thing I hated. Scott said he looked around and he saw like the dead corpse when he came to the when he took over 4 years ago. Now
Oh yeah.
what year are we in, Gary? Perhaps you can help me out. 2025? We're in 2024 right now, correct?
That's correct.
Now, in 2020, Impact Wrestling on Axis was averaging 150 to 170,000 viewers, maybe.
Oh
And
yeah.
for this episode, I mean, I'm literally looking up right now. That's 2020, 4 years ago when he's saying. If anyone wants to go to 2019, I mean, I'm sure it's similar. But whatever. So, and what the hell are their ratings now? Nobody knows. No one, absolutely no one knows what their ratings are right now. We haven't seen them in God knows how long. Last we saw was what, like 50 or something? And people are telling me, oh, it's not a big
It was
deal. And I'm
definitely halfway to 100,000 views. Yeah.
sorry, January 2019. Numbers for the final show on Pop, 151,000. So, like, what are we talking about? What's gotten better? Look at those. Look at the rosters from back then. Everything was better back then. The network was better. Maybe I'm sorry. There was actually creative back then. The rosters were better. There was gimmick matches. It was more interesting. Everything. And he's out here
Then there was a little bit of
like
cross
what the
promotion
fuck is this
going
dude bragging about? Yeah, sorry.
There was cross promotion going on some of those channels, like Destination America. I remember them mentioning, be sure to watch. You know what I mean? Like it's very lacking on access. Like, I mean, what are you going to plug the latest top 10?
Well, I've been shitting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've been shitting on Scott a lot, but the fact is, it's all on Anthem. Everything. They gave some bullshit about how much money they put in this year. Where is it? Who'd the money go? Did it all go to Dolph? Like you said, the shows don't look that much better. Like in terms of sure they look nice. It looks nicer with a few things, but like, where's the rest of the money? Why is the roster so goddamn thin? It's like thinner than it's ever been, possibly ever. And now he's coming out bragging about that you don't even have ratings. That's how low you are. What else is there to brag about? Does anyone know the buy rate for Hard to Kill? No one does. No one's ever going to hear about the buy rate for Hard to Kill. That's not going to be a thing. I guarantee, because it's too late. Meltzer would have had it already. So that shit is buried. Meltzer knows, and he was told to bury it, because that's how wrestling. Sorry, really quick. That's how wrestling stories work this week. If anybody missed it, you bury stories. And
not to mention, we need to bolster the tag team division for the knockouts too.
Well, that's just the knockouts in general for me. More knockouts means, but also fuck that division. It never worked and it never will, unless you need they need 12 knockouts or some shit to make that work. It's just never gonna work. And really quick, I will want to end this one early, but let me just check what we missed with. Okay, quick spoiler time. So get the hell out of here, everyone, if you're not. So yeah, we got a funny thing coming up where Giselle takes down Jordan with the Ultimate X thing. And I mean, sure, maybe it can come out differently in video form, but in picture form, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, that stupid X, which is made of what, plastic or something, and Jordan Grace, who is a guy.
Sure, I know in the old days it was a couple pieces of maybe 2x6.
Yeah, well, even if it's that, this is Jordan Grace. You could hit her with a chair in the head, and she should just turn around and laugh.
This is a lady that wrestles men double her size,
Yeah, that should be the Jordan Grace thing. Again, there's more good shit with Nemec and Macklin. You know what I mean? Nemeth and Macklin coming up. We got a three-way dance. Not a three-way dance. What the hell is it called? The Grizzly Veterans, I'm just going to keep calling them that, are facing ABC in a 2 out of 3. I think it's for the titles, so that could be interesting.
And apparently there several free agents were backstage.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Brightful is reporting Friday night that former WWE talent Mace added in Mansoor. I don't know if that
was it Mansoor from TNA?
I don't know, Jay. It doesn't look familiar to me. Alex Zane as well.
Because somebody said they wanted they were happy about going home.
And then Sean Spears, and then it was reported that apparently Sean was seen backstage with Scott D'Amore for about 20 minutes. So, I mean, it's probably all but a no-brainer. Expect a in-ring signing or something, or a vignette coming with,
Well, have you seen Mace and Mansoor?
I've heard of Mansoor, but I've never seen Mace.
Have you ever seen what they look like? Their gimmicks?
No.
Okay, I need you to picture Jay Vidal.
Okay.
And that's it. Also, do you have your Facebook open at the moment?
I do, but the messenger for some reason did not want to work before we went to air. I don't know what that was
Okay,
about.
well, I just sent you the picture, and anyone could look it up. I mean, sure, they could turn it to
Been
something
having
different.
issues with.
Sure, they could turn it to something different, but again, it looks like two very gay characters. I don't know what else you can. I don't know. It's not the word, but and again, I have nothing wrong with any gay or whatever, but too many of them is going to turn people off, and that's what's happening. Especially if people who know that if people know the president is gay or bi or whatever, it's
Yeah.
just. And now if they bring in these guys in, it's two more. Like they're gonna start a fucking faction.
Yeah, it definitely be a deal breaker with a lot of
Exactly. I
viewers.
don't think they realize. They don't realize
You
that.
don't
They don't.
you don't want that kind of heat. You know what I mean? You kind of want the viewers. Get all the viewership that you can.
It's it's the same problem, Donald. The same. Well, it's kind of the same reason Donald Trump is going to be president again. Liberals just push that bullshit too much, and normal human beings who are in the middle and shut the fuck up and don't talk about things don't like that. That's why he wins. That's why he's going to win. That's why he's killing everyone. He's honest about everything, or at least he's honest about the things he's not totally not
He's
honest about.
honest enough.
Try not to take down the government and shit like that. But
Yeah.
that's a whole other thing. I'm not going to get too political. And just wanted to check out Robles' thing here. Yeah, no, well, he had an idea like to pull up a silhouette and see who would be returning to TNA next. But the problem is nobody returned yet. That's what I keep not arguing, but like that's my dude, man. And like we like fantasy book and everything, and like I just get frustrated because I'm like we can't fantasy book until they do something. Like they're just, you know what I mean? Like bring back friggin' Allie and friggin' like Rosemary shouldn't be Rosemary until Allie came back. Like that would have
Oh,
made sense.
definitely.
Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
unless you just I don't know. Or are they done with that? Are they done with fucking what's the word? Continuity where Eric Young had to come back from the dead? Like that was the dumbest shit in the world, and they shouldn't have did it. But at least stay stay the same. Like if you're gonna do it for that, then do it for the other one.
And then he's like on a handshake deal with Scott because of his history with him. I guess he's not even under contract.
So EY, ugh,
Yeah. So I mean, he
ugh.
can go anywhere, anytime, and there ain't
Well,
really much.
if that dude goes, I'll tell you what. If that dude goes back to WWE again, then I'm gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna say screw EY, whatever. Maybe it's from money or his family or something. All right, whatever. I don't know. That's about all we got.
Yeah,
Keep it
that's
under
all I got.
keep it under 40 this week. We'll catch you next week, people.